Today, we're going to finish our lesson on the Pythagorean theorem. In our last lesson, we were finding the missing length of the hypotenuse in a right triangle. Today, we're going to find a missing side length, and it can be either one of these two legs that we are finding the missing length of. So to do this, we have our Pythagorean theorem. What you're going to do is you're going to find the information that is already given and plug that information in to the formula. Right now you can see that we are looking for side B or leg B, which means we need to figure out which is leg A. So out of these two side lengths, which one would be leg A? Leg A would be right here. How do I know that's leg A? Because the two legs are the one that form this right angle. So if that's side A, our hypotenuse, which is the side opposite of the right angle, our hypotenuse is here, so that's side C. So now that I've identified what my three sides are, I've got my two legs and my hypotenuse identified, I can plug them into the formula. So a squared, we're over here, a squared. Well, this leg is 16. So we have 16 squared plus b squared. Well, I don't have a value for b. B is what we're going to be finding. So b squared equals c squared, and c is 34. So 34 squared. So at this point, I need to figure out what these values are when I square them. 16 squared. To do that, let's go back into our Google Classroom, up to classwork, find that scientific calculator, and now we're ready. So 16 squared gives me 256. So I have 256 plus b squared equals, I got to figure out what 34 squared is now. 34 squared. That gives me 1,156. So 1,156. So we still need to solve for b. That's what our goal is. And if you look at our problem right now, 256 plus b squared equals 1,156. We can see that we are going to have to solve it like we've solved our equations. We need to get b by itself. To do that, we put this number on the other side of the equal sign. Well, to do that, we do its inverse operation. So we're going to have to subtract 256. That eliminates that from this side. But if you remember our rule when solving equations, what you do to one side, you must do to the other side. So we're going to subtract 256 from this side. So that leaves us with b squared equals whatever 1156 minus 256. I'm going to go back to our calculator. 1156 minus 256. That gives us 900. So b squared equals 900. Now we need to get b by itself, which means we need to find the square root of that. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So the square root of 900. So the square root of 900 gives us 30. So b's side length is 30. Let me put my label, 30 yards. These problems are easy to solve. I think the other ones that we did yesterday were easier, but these problems are easy to solve if you can plug them into their appropriate spot and you remember and know how to solve an equation. So there's nothing new to this. It's just a different name for it, Pythagorean Theorem, plugging it in, finding side lengths for right triangles. Let's do one more example so that you can see how these are done. All right, so here's our triangle. Again, we are missing side length B. So we got to figure out which is side length A. Well, here's our right angle. So that's going to be our other leg. And then here is our hypotenuse C. So let's plug these into our formula. So for A, we have 9. So 9 squared plus B squared equals C. Well, C is 15, so 15 squared. 9 squared is 81. We don't have anything for B yet. And 15 squared, let's go back to our calculator. 15 squared is 225. 225. What's our next step here? We're going to subtract 81 from both sides, just like we would solving a regular equation. That leaves us with our B squared on the left side of the equal sign. 225 minus 81 is 144. And then our last step, we have to get B squared to just be B by itself. To do that, you find the square root. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. So square root of 144. So B equals, and I know the square root of 144, that's going to be 12. So side length B is 12 millimeters. So you're going to, again, have 5 problems and get more math to work on. If you are uncertain how to do them once you get more math, you can always rewatch this video or email me, and I will gladly help you out in trying to solve these.